Is Shadow Fiend even good against the heroes that Newbie have picked? Like,
Not really.
not really.
I mean,
Hey,
especially now with, we talked about the benefits of the Requiem change. Now that Rubik can have that benefit as well, it's not just about the damage that's coming through.
yeah. Oh, and this is such a good lane. Rubik Centaur being able to lift people back into Stomp, and then also it's so hard to trade against because you've got the damage reduction and Centaurs getting stacks if you hit them. So it's so hard to kind of out sustain them. And Newbie wasting no time, just firing straight back. Ocean go for Oracle, and they pick up the Templar Assassin.
Pretty spicy to be able to have. I mean, we still don't know how Newbie exactly are going to lane this, but if it was a Rubik Centaur together, how do you lane against that? You kind of have to use a ranged hero to do it, especially one that can do some sort of magic damage.
Yeah, unless you try and pick one of these like melee offlane counters, like your Ursa, Lifestealer, Monkey King kind of deal. But yeah, whatever it is, it's gonna have to be a fairly strong laner because they've already picked up this Oracle, who is not like he can be scary if he gets out to a decent experience start, but I don't think people would classify Oracle as like a strong laning five by any stretch of the imagination. So yeah, I really wonder what they're going to go for here. And picking the Shadow Fiend so early leaves them so vulnerable because it's not a flexible core. Sure, you can, in a pinch, run it in a side lane, but already you're not going to want to run it into like the Rubik Centaur lane. That just seems too dangerous. I think if you ever get lifted back, you just die. But you also, the mid lane matchup is not that great. Templar Assassin already a little bit of a counter. So, okay.
Okay. So just wanting a hero that's able to get out of any sort of clockwork ganks through doppling out of the cogs. Good to deal with the Templar Assassin refraction charges. Maybe thinking that, right, we can put a lot of pressure onto this Centaur War Runner because we've got the Oracle in the lane for it. They can just dispel the retaliates.
10 seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
he's been popular recently, the Phantom Lancer, right? It's
5 seconds
yeah.
a
remaining.
carry that's seeing a decent amount of play. I don't know if is PL one of the heroes that people have been buying Ring of Tarrasque on. Doesn't sound bad.
Not as much as these other ones, but certainly, you open yourself up to the possibility for it. I think early on, people are still thinking, right, we don't have quite the same level of farming speed as some of these other heroes. Naga Illusions just through the Riptide does a lot, but
10
PL
seconds
much less.
remaining.
And your illusions don't need to have as
5
much
seconds
HP on
remaining.
PL, just to farm at least, right? If you're just farming your way through the jungle, so long as you're keeping your
Radiant
hero
team
healthy,
pick.
then it doesn't really matter what state your illusions are in. So yeah, I think that's a really good argument. So Lycan getting banned out, Ocean just kind of worried about getting run over again, I would think, and also their lockdown situation is okay, not amazing. So a pretty mobile carry like that could
10
certainly
seconds remaining.
pose a problem.
Could definitely.
5 seconds
Still
remaining.
thinking maybe something like an Ember Spirit is a possibility for Newbie.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was like, Ocean
Pause
probably
one.
just looking for offlaner, right? I don't know what form exactly that's gonna take. They need something, maybe something that doesn't need too much help, but also doesn't just instantly die to any clockwork gank. So, kind of
Yeah.
needs mobility, but also to be, like self-sufficient.
The pool of viable offlaners isn't huge this patch. And you can see, in the first ban, they got rid of a lot of them. Dazzle can definitely play there. Pangolier can definitely do it. Batrider, Mars, Timbersaw, they're all offlaners potentially.
I don't
So,
see the argument for this Wind Ranger pick at all.
Yeah.
It does not look good to me. I mean, it kind of has escape, but not the right kind of escape against a clockwork.
10
And
seconds remaining.
you don't ever want to focus fire Centaur. It's
5
unreliable
seconds
initiation, and now I really thought with the last pick they were going to get some frontline, but now they have absolutely zero frontline. So
Yeah. I was just about to ask, was that your main question? Like, where's the front line? Who's doing
yeah,
it?
where's the beef, Danog?
Yeah.
That's
I mean, Slaughter? maybe could have been picked. You could have picked
I
a
think, yeah.
Tide Hunter a
Yeah,
little
I would have
bit.
been down. I don't know about Tide so much against. Both of those heroes feel rough against Clockwork, but Wind Ranger doesn't feel any better. So
Ooh, here we go. The China Gyro. I love it.
yeah, Mugi Gyrocopter coming in. All right, who
You
you
see the
got?
changes with that? It's much more of a. You don't want to constantly be taking these little team fights. It needs to be more impactful, and you can constantly do these farm stacks up a lot more as the gyro with that halved cooldown on the flat cannon. So I think that's pretty good. I got Newbie relatively comfortably again.
Okay. Yeah, I think I have to agree. Well, I'm trying to remember exactly what the changes were. So they reduced the attack count, so it's one less
By one.
at
Yeah.
all levels, but it's half the cooldown and
Yes.
5 seconds shorter duration.
Yes, which the duration doesn't really matter most of the time. You know, you're probably going to get out a
Yeah.
lot all the attacks. But the other big change was the cooldown. Now it doesn't have like a 50-second cooldown. Now it's 90, and the second
Okay.
missile does a lot more damage as well. So you really need to pick and choose which team fights you take because you can be punished if you're just throwing it.
Yeah. Yeah. So long as you're not using, or so long as you weren't the kind of person that would, like, get a big hard camp stack and then use your call down to clear that, it is
Yep.
probably a fairly big farming improvement overall. I don't know if you would have. They didn't give him anything to help with mana, right? So you better just hope that you get a mango tree, you plop that thing down in the base, and then you just ferry yourself mangoes all game.
It's going to be rough, and it's just having a quick look at Ocean. They've gone these 3 heroes heading up the top side, so they're trying to get first blood. I suppose that's maybe one of the benefits of the Wind Ranger is that you can do an okay amount of damage. You know, just harassing either with a Wind Run or getting the last hit with a power shot.
Yeah, I mean, maybe this lane is okay if they've got the Earthshaker just hunkering down here and playing with the Wind Ranger the whole time, but I think you're gonna have to be so afraid of any Clockwork rotation, right? If this guy if Faith manages to get level 3, level 4 early on.
Speaking of Clock, you've got him on this south side with a couple of other newbie heroes.
That's very conservative of Wizard, just gonna grab 2 stacks at the start here. I think for a while people got a little bit greedy,
30
right? It was
seconds
like,
to battle.
oh, I'm gonna run mid and I'm gonna take like 4 or 5 shots.
Yeah.
And then people started ganking it, and like this whole meta evolved, and now it seems like people are being much more conservative.
I don't mind the ones where, like, I've seen a couple of times where someone's even gotten, like, 6 stacks, but he has a Chen with a headdress next to him and Divine Favor,
Yeah.
so it's okay, you know?
Yeah. Of course, context is always gonna be very
battle
important. Olo wants
begins.
to try and take this bounty away from Wizard. Is he gonna manage it? He does not, and now he's in a little bit of trouble. He does pop the doppelganger, but Faith is still on top of him. He's trying to juke them out, but it doesn't seem like Wizard is tricked. And YC also has a good idea of what's going on. So pretty hefty damage on the Phantom Lancer, but at least he's got a couple of branches and some tangos. So
Was it under a smoke that they put up this mid observer ward on the Diocese? Because that was posted like 15 seconds after.
Yeah, I'm not sure. They did have some heroes smoked, so the TA may have just run out smoked with that same smoke and put it down. But I guess we'll have to see if it gets dewarded potentially. All right, Faith is already up here. Got the homing missile coming out. This is going to be some pretty big damage on TZY. At least he's got the creep wave now to soak out the battery assault. But this top lane is already looking kind of sketchy, and I really like Newbee's bottom lane. And I like their mid lane matchup too. So
Yeah.
bad news all around if you're a Ocean fan.
That's the thing with the bottom lane for Ocean, right? They don't have the kill potential. They can minimize the damage that's coming out from Newbie, but they're not going to kill anyone.
Yeah, not. It seems unlikely unless they manage to like harass down the Rubik a bit, but I just don't really see that happening. How's mid lane going? Shavin's doing all right so far. Though it often feels like TA. It doesn't really matter so much how the lane goes. You're always just gonna go hit up the jungle, go hit up some ancients, get some massive acceleration going that way, and then they've got the TA to either take the Aegis herself or just spoon feed it over to the gyrocopter.
Denied.
Decent harass coming through from the Shadow Fiend. I think the other thing that TA really benefits from is being on that dire side. You've got a relatively easier time being able to clear some of these stacks. They're kind of closer to you and less punishable by the enemy team.
Yeah, and maybe, I don't know, which side do you think is easier for supports to kind of stack up for their mid laner? I guess it's always hard, especially in this current meta as a support, to find much free time to stack.
Yeah, it's certainly not the same as, when there were 4 different outposts and, you had to be mindful of shrines as well, and there were runes spawning every 1 second, but you've still got a lot of objectives that need to be taken on the map. So yeah, completely right. There's a good balance that I think Ice Frog's finally struck.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Are you one of the people that's glad that shrines are dead?
Yes.
Yeah, I think, shrines was a cool experiment and everything, but I do like the outposts more, for sure.
Well, gives you something to fight for. Faith just continuing to be a menace for Fame here. He's trying to get some sort of enchant totem off, but not while Facer.
Yeah, but it's only batteries at level 1, so Fame is actually not taking that much damage, and now he is fighting back. Power shot, and that's going to be your first blood. Fame, very, very nice kill for him, and that's going to rocket him towards his Tranquil Boots.
Yeah, we've seen how deadly he is when he's able to get that roam on for the rest of his team. One other change that I'm liking from the most recent patch is the 4-minute runes are the first ones that spawn in the river. I think it was Samael that talked about when neutral items came out and everyone was complaining. It's like, well, bottom lane. Oh, the Centaur stun.
Yeah, so much damage on the Oracle. Is it going to be enough to bring him down, though? I'm not sure. Rubik's still chasing somewhat, but taking a few punches from the Phantom Lancer. This Centaur Conqueror is going to be the prize for Newbee, but they don't quite get that kill. But you were saying about the 4-minute runes?
Yeah, I mean, neutral items came into the game and people were complaining about the RNG behind them, but back in the day, or topside.
Moogie's okay, he's fine, just keep talking.
It was just like, well, if you got a double damage or a regen, you just won the lane, and so that was kind of punished.
Yeah, it was... Oh, flat cannon? No, okay, no, not enough.
What's the difference, really? And now that they've at least gotten rid of that, you've got a bit of a reprieve, at least for the mid laner, and I think it puts a lot more of the emphasis on the draft than ever before. It's very much not RNG based, this mid lane.
Yeah, and I do think that, like, to me, a 2-minute haste rune always felt a little bit bullshit. It was just always kind of like, oh yeah, okay. Here comes some guy with a 2-minute haste, I'm just dead. There's nothing I can do about it. Or like you're saying, the 2-minute regen or 2-minute double damage could just completely change the complexion of a lane.
Yep.
So, interesting that it took us so long in Dota's history to make that change, but I'm with you. I definitely agree with it. Man, this Centaur is getting pretty big. 32 and 10. He's got his Ring of Tarrasque and a Buckler. It looks like he's getting phase boots relatively quickly. He is a scary boy. He's actually just going to be going for a... Oh man, he's going to go for a Vanguard. They're not going to be able to do anything about him at that point.
Yeah.
Like, Wizard can just chill out down here, and Rubik can go and do whatever he wants. He can go roam mid, he can go gank top. Because there have been some very near misses at top lane. One more hero, they would get those kills for sure.
Yeah, XMY's been on point with his Fortune's End, making sure to get rid of the Retaliate stacks as soon as they're popped. I'm a little surprised he doesn't just use them straight away when he's contesting Ola here, just because it's always going to go, right? So even if you can get 2 hits off, it's more beneficial.
I guess maybe he's hoping to hold it for if they go on the Oracle. Like maybe he gets 1 hit during the lift, then he stomps, then he gets another hit. And then if the Oracle is forced to just use it instantly, then they're not getting much of a disable. AQ at mid. ZC didn't choose the best angle. He's going to get slowed down, not respecting the traps enough, and I think that might just be the end of him. One more shot does it. And it's a very sad death. No Requiem, no souls, just Just gonna fall down.
Yeah, and he's already more than one level behind, so not a great start for the lane. AQ taking advantage of the fact that he's not being babysat this time around.
Yeah, you just, I don't know, you just can't pick Shadow Fiend like this. He doesn't have, like, he's not matchup agnostic enough to be able to do this.
He's still pickable in my mind. You just, you can't leave yourself open to be countered like this.
Yeah. But I also don't, like, I'm not a mid lane player, so hard for me to say, but I also don't know what makes something a Shadow Fiend game, right? Like, other mid heroes, I can point to it and I can say, okay, you're up against these heroes and you're with these heroes. This is a really good, you know, this is a really good Tinker game, and this is a really good Storm Spirit game, or something like that. But I feel like I'm not often saying, oh man, this is a really good Shadow Fiend game. What a good pick Shadow Fiend was in this situation. And we got another trap slowdown at mid. Here comes another gank. TP from the Shaker just to try and deter, but I mean, Fame, what can he really do? Just walks away. Wanted to contest the rune, but unfortunately, Newbee will be the ones who get it, and it will be a regen for Rubik.
It's kind of one of those things, right? He suffers from being a jack of all trades. He's good at flash farm, he's got some high damage, he can do magic and physical damage, and he's got now that crowd control, but he's lacking in some of these key features that make it, you know, an X game. You can't gotcha pick a Shadow.
Oracle, alright. Disarm, TP, let's go, see ya! Oh god, just barely escaped. Needed to get that disarm out right away, and AQ will immediately claim back the outpost.
He's playing well, XMY.
Yeah, I have to say, he's looking pretty good on the Oracle, but game as a whole not looking amazing. Where does the playmaking potential come? Does that have to just be the Wind Ranger? Oh no, Fame. It's got some stuns, but YC's there to clean it up. Yapzor's that kill.
I mean, you'd hope that it's this Windrunner that does it, right? They had the last pick overall, so they'd want to be taking advantage of. Wait, did they have last pick? No, Newbee had last pick.
Radiant's middle tower.
But still.
Yeah. Well, what is
It was
this,
their
what
last
is Wind Ranger going to do with this build? I guess you've got your Javelin, you just have to get Focus Fire and then hope to go and get some kind of immediate kill off of that. But 3 points wind run seems pretty extreme. I guess if you're going for I just have to run somebody down and kill them, then maybe this is the way to play. Trap slowing down both, and now Moogie and Wizard come in from either side. XMY is going to save himself a little bit of damage with the Fate's Edict, but he's also going to be brought down. What a rotation from Moogie. Finds the double kill. They will at least get one outpost. Ocean able to make their way up top and grab the dire one, but that hurts.
Yeah, nice keen optic as well to be able to give to Rubik, you would assume. Oh no, sorry, not
more than
Rubik.
likely.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess maybe the Windrun is just wanting to be that frontliner role. Like, it's not the hero for it, but hey, let's skill to be able to at least act as a pseudo frontliner for now.
Yeah, he is going straight BKB now as well. After, well, boots first, then BKB. Oh boy. Haste on this Templar Assassin. Wants to poke and prod a little bit. Figures out the real Phantom Lancer, but he does have the Doppel, so he's going to be okay.
Yeah. 3 levels behind, so that's not any sort of encounter that you want to be taking.
No, certainly not.
And we can see Wizard here. He is the beef, you know. He's got the Ring of Tarask. He's building into the phase boots, so he's got, you know, maybe adjusting for the weakness that he has in terms of armor.
Yeah, he lost his VIP booster earlier. It was on his courier and it died, so he would actually have the Vanguard at this point if not for that. Oracle TP's down here. Wizard taking quite a lot of damage, but he's also got quite a lot of regen. Are they going to try and take this fight up top? Feynman is in a decent position, but Newbee rotating around, smoked. They do have the call down back up, and Clockwork is in the trees. Faith ready with the hookshot to try and find some kind of initiation, but Shaker would also be a really good jump, and he's going to get lifted and easily brought down. Can they catch a little bit more is the question. Ola, they're trying to get him out of here, but here comes the Stampede forward. Are they going to get the vision? Call down completely off the mark. They've got the Fisher, but he does have the Doppel to get over the top of it. Faith, I'm not going to look for the hook shot as, what happened? What happened elsewhere? They just died in all 3 lanes.
Yep.
So
CDA was just like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna kill.
yeah, and then bottom lane Wizard was like, all right, I'll just get a kill.
Yeah.
And now
the 12-minute Blink Dagger reveal.
Yep. And now they team up and they just get 1 more kill.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Because why not, you know?
Yep.
Doesn't even need to wait for the ideal runes. He just escalating the farming speed that he's been able to get. They're going to take this tier 2 tower as well.
Over under on 22-minute GG.
Under.
Okay.
Would you take that?
Would I take? Oh yeah, I'll take it. It is certainly not looking good for Ocean. They need TZY has to get a kill like right now with Focus Fire. That's what they need. They need like an important kill. Just run somebody down, get a million javelin procs.
Well, they've got the boots. Don't have any shackle shot skill points though.
No.
So,
but 4 points win run, 30% enemy slow, Danog. Believe.
that's what you want to see.
Oh, he's trapped between 2 rocks.
Radiant's middle tower is under
And the hard
attack.
place was moving in, but Wizard is gonna get stunned up, and that will be an escape for him. AQ is in pretty deep, but does have Faith backing him up, and he's got the Blink Dagger to escape if needed.
Since you've been around, have you seen much of this? It was popularized, I want to say, by Southeast Asia. This little cheeky semi-high ground ward in the middle of the Radiant jungle, like not on the.
Oh, the slightly offset one.
Yeah, yeah.
I noticed it last game. I haven't been seeing it as much. I guess it's so there's no way unless you bring your courier over, you can't scout both
Yeah,
of these
you
side
need
ones.
to put an observer ward there as well.
Yeah, it makes
Dire's
sense.
top
Can you do
tower
the
is
other
under
side as
attack.
well?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know which one feels better. Maybe probably the left.
I think there's one down here as well on the bot side.
Oh yeah. Just anywhere where these weird
Radiant's
statue
middle
guys
tower is
are.
under
Well, I
attack.
don't know what map you use, but I don't know what they look like on the other terrains. I'm a default terrain user. Default announcer, default terrain.
I don't even know. It's just kind of become normal for me, whatever it is that I use. I think I use default terrain. Yeah, and I use default announcer as well, but I use the Fat Rat music pack.
Okay. A man of culture.
It's a good pack.
It is good, for sure.
Alright, Faith is going in deep. He's found out the Oracle. Still not level 6, even though it's 15 minutes.
Yeah, the Edict is helping him out a little bit, but Wizard comes into the cogs too, and that is going to be the end of the Oracle. Over in the river, they've also spotted out the Phantom Lancer. He gets brought down. No Deso just yet, so no Roshan aspirations, but Ocean just kind of... They're adrift. They really feel like they can't do anything at this point. Everyone is just floating around the map. ZC getting jumped. He's going to try to get the escape here with the Requiem. Is that going to be enough? YC closing the gap. It's not quite there.
Well, they've stolen the Requiem. That's a big
pretty
bonus
good.
for him.
Oh yeah, that's actually pretty good. Very, very nice. Wizard, okay, now he's got the full Crimson Guard, so he has no cares about Phantom Lancer whatsoever. Smoke up from Newbee. Be looking for something. Just waiting for this Deso to get delivered. How is the farm going on the Gyrocopter? He is just rushing BKB. No Ags or anything for him this game. They do get a lift under the PL. Poor Ola just wanted a little bit of farm. Tries for the micro to get out of here, but not enough fancy footwork, and that is the end of him.
That's given him the Deso as well, so they're going to probably take this top tower, maybe push for a tier 2, try and force the Glyph, and then Roshan after that, you would think.
Ooh, can they get Mugi? Do they see him? They're gonna cancel his TP. Alright, they figured it out at this point. It's gonna do some decent damage on the way out, but that is a nice kill, and they do give that over to Fame, so that's actually his Blink Dagger. That's pretty nice. Alright. The dream is still alive. Oh, that's a double damage on TA.
Oh, okay, Dream's dead.
Yeah. Look away, look away. Just pretend it's not happening. Are Urshan gonna come and contest this? They do know. They do have a Observer Ward over here.
I don't think they can. They don't have the speed for it. They're going to try. They're smoked up, but maybe they'll shoot the power shot in, try and spook them out a little bit.
Where's the Shaker? They need to use this blink effectively. Could jump in, gets 3, but it's not really enough. He immediately gets lifted. Now the double damage going to go to work. Plus the Requiem, plus the Cogs, pushing everything back. They're keeping Shadow Fiend alive. Faith in pretty deep. Throws the hook and actually survives a little bit longer, but with Shadow Fiend dead, XMY is next in the chopping block, and AQ not done quite yet. Keeping TZY slowed down. 4 seconds to go on the Blink Dagger. Windrun back up in 2 seconds. TZY just juking around for now. Does have the 1 point in the shackle, and AQ blinks himself backwards. They lose their Clockwork, but it's a 3-for-1, and they now have the Aegis on Templar Assassin.
Man, I'm loving Newbee's positioning in these team fights, especially their supports. You know, Faith standing right on those stairs, making sure that no one other than that Earthshake was going to have any impact in the fight. Rubik realizing, look, it's kind of pointless for me to stand in the middle of this Roche pit. Able to get the lift off before he was able to get the Fissure down. Meant that Newbee's cores were able to clean up these supports before they were able to have too much of an impact overall.
Yeah, he was just out of range of getting hit by the Aftershock stun. So very nice positioning from the Newbie supports. I mean, even if he had gotten the full combo off, Faith completely combo broke them. Fame in trouble. They do manage to get the shackle, but Clockwork's still pretty healthy, and now Faith gets his revenge. Hook shot forward. Mugi wanted to get involved, but he's too late. And Newbie now up 16-3, 18 minutes into this game. Comfortable 13k gold lead, almost a 15k experience lead. And do you want to take a guess on the win probability?
I want to say 94.
98.
Okay. Well, my under is looking pretty good right about now.
Yeah. Looking decent. Newbie already up onto the high ground. Wizard has a full pipe. I don't even know if we've seen much of the Centaur this game. I think he's just been kind of off, doing his own thing, pushing down some buildings. Yeah. His team has really not needed him to do a whole lot or make any flashy plays.
Yeah. And now he's an absolute beast, and the thing with this Gyrocopter build as well, he's gone into that BKB as you mentioned before, helped out by the Ring of Aquila, is the extra damage that comes through from the cooldown means that you can go for these utility items earlier on. You're not forced to go into these, you know, right-click style things.
For sure. What's happening in the backlines here? Shaker was trying to get some good positioning for another Echo. Newbie loosely clumped. They come in here with the Invis on the Shadow Fiend. Decent damage. Gyrocopter almost brought down. He pops the BKB at the last second. He's actually staying alive. He gets a call down off. AQ's just tanking through everything. Wizard with the stomp, locking them down. TZY, can he get the last wind run off? Not quite fast enough. AQ doing too much damage. They buy back on the Oracle, but there you go. GG called. Fame gets one last Echo Slam out, but can't quite kill off the Rubik. Oracle was hoping to finish it, but that is going to be the end of this one. That is the end of the series. And the end of our coverage for today. It's just the one best of 3.
Just a short one, and yeah, you could just see a little bit of disconnect from Ocean's side. They're on point with their spell use. It's just working together as a team, and I think that'll just come with a bit more experience. They're a relatively new lineup playing together, so we'll see how they go throughout this league. It is a long one, running for, what, 3 weeks?
Yeah, I think it's 3 weeks or so. They'll get a lot of matches in. Of course, there's money on the line for every single game, so always some incentive to try and win, of course, and to show up every single week. But I would imagine that this is also going to be a little bit of a test bed for some of these teams, right? Try out a couple of new things. Newbie, I would say that this was a pretty cookie cutter game for them, though. Didn't try anything too interesting. Yeah, this is really just the appetizer so far. So we got one best of 3 today. We got one best of 3 tomorrow. And then I believe in a couple of days, and maybe after that, that's when we start getting into like your 2 best of 3s per day. So if you're really hankering for some Chinese Dota action, then that's where you find it. And of course, we've got all the ESL stuff kicking off as well. So plenty of Dota happening.
Good time to be a Dota fan, you know? Most people aren't able to go to LAN events anyway, so it's a benefit of being able to have that be our only form of entertainment at this point. But yeah, as you said, lots of more games coming up in the days to come. Tomorrow, I believe, is eHome versus Sparking Arrow Gaming, one of the other qualifier teams that came through. And then beyond that, as you said, moving into the best of threes, multiple ones per day. The first one in a couple of days' time being IG versus LGD, which will be pretty hype.
Yeah, that should be really, really good. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the coverage. I'm Basskip. You can go find me on whatever social media. Danog, thank you so much for joining me. Are you Danog Dota on Twitter? Is that the go?
Yeah, Twitter's what I care about. So follow me on Twitter at Danog Dota. And yeah, we'll see you again soon, guys.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys. Catch you in.